Hello. Welcome back to our supposed stealth-savvy character who recently changed his identity. I remember last video I was trying to remember what Gandalf's, not colloquial name was, and I think it was Mithrandir, which I'm pretty sure doesn't fit. And I'm also pretty sure I can't spell it. Mithrandir, it does fit. So I was looking on the forums to the reaction that I got from some of these videos, and I kind of realized something that I failed to do in this run. I mentioned in the beginning that this build is pretty decent for reactionary play, if you see equipment that you find that you can kind of base your build around that. And I haven't really done that at all with this build, and Clouded, who I've mentioned a couple times in these videos, mostly when I'm trying to dodge archers, made the point that I found this really good kite shield a couple floors ago and I just totally ignored it, which is two reasons. One is that I never use kite shields really, so I didn't realize how good it was. I thought they were normally 1d7, but they are normally 1d6, and the one we found was 1d8. The reason I don't like them is because it makes it a lot harder to hit. But he made the good point that if you use blocking, which is, I just looked at it for probably maybe the second time in my life, even though I've taken it before. So blocking, I never really noticed the position of this comma. So it says here it doubles the protection roll for your shield for all of ranged attacks. Period. I didn't realize that. So you can be moving and things can be shooting at you and it'll double your protection roll, which for 1d8, 2 to 16 is pretty crazy for just your shield. The other thing is if you sit still for a turn, it gives you that bonus to melee as well. So the thing that's really cool about that is if you take blocking with a really good shield, and then you take focused attack, every time you you basically block, you're also giving a little bit of a boost to your melee score, which is great, and completely overcomes the melee penalty that your shield would have given you anyways. But then you can do something even cooler, which is to take this skill that's admittedly far away called Controlled Retreat, which basically, if you stop to block one round, and then you move backwards, you get a free attack. So that's so awesome. This is cool. I really like this kind of build. I've never really done it before. I think this will actually work really well with the build that I learned from Hallucination Mushroom that I mentioned in the previous build video. But the point I'm trying to make is that I haven't really been reactionary at all. I've been trying to force this build that basically goes for crazy high melee, crazy high stealth, and then stabs everything to death. But now that we found Glamdring, I think we can kind of improve our mid-game survivability by continuing to pump evasion, stealth, and melee. But maybe not focusing so much on trying to get away. So an immediate bonus that I can get is if I take parry, we get +2 from Glamdring in terms of evasion. So this will give me a free extra 2 evasion basically. So I'm going to take that now. And I think I'd like to get our evasion up to significantly over 20, and same with melee, because I never really do that. And I might not go crazy with stealth this game. It's already at 13, so I'm going to keep adding to it. And then eventually what I'd like to do is have a build where the normal stabby build is you take Assassination, clearly, because that adds your entire stealth score to your attack, which is good on its own. Cruel Blow, you can add that whenever you want, kind of, but when you get a really good critical, it just kind of confuses the opponent, which is great. This is a helpful skill. But the big one is Subtlety, because it drastically reduces, or I guess let's put it this way, it drastically increases your number of critical hits, but you're not allowed to use a shield. So when you're going to do that, you really want your weapon to be a light weapon, and Glamdring is not a light weapon. So this is going to be kind of a funny thing to balance. I don't really want to have to, a possibility we have is use our perfectly weighted longsword, stab something in the kidney, let it kind of reel around in pain for a while, and while it's doing that, switch to Glamdring and a shield, and then beat the crap out of it. Which sounds like a lot of work, but the big weakness of the stealth stabber style is that for most of the game, you cannot one-hit kill things. And then you're in trouble because you usually have a hard time fighting straight up. So you stab something, you run and hide, you try to vanish, and then you go back and stab it again. That works until you run into a hallway full of monsters. So this might be a more survivable way of doing things. I don't know, let's just give it a shot. But before we do that, we need to get rid of some shit that we are carrying. This great sword of Doriath seems like it. We have a lot of Doriath stuff. Yeah, there aren't too many things I can throw. Well, I guess I don't really need these daggers. Like, they're good, but I'm probably going to throw the spears first, so... I actually wonder, because the daggers are so light, they're much more easy. It's much easier to critical with them. Whatevs. Okay, after all that belly aching, let's actually start moving. Yeah, sure, let's go this way. But now I'm getting more excited for that that artistry build. Because I feel like that might be a viable way for me to play a non-stealth character, because I have a really hard time without stealth, let me tell you, so... Alright, so far there's not much... I'm guessing there's a secret door here somewhere, but... It's the other thing I was thinking along the lines of that build I just mentioned. Would have been that I could have carried that kite shield in my inventory. Like, oh, this is cool. Haunted Dreams? This is one of those new types that I haven't really... So it gives us true sight. But this is a new effect in Sil, and I love it. It's so awesome. We've seen danger before that draws like more dangerous monsters to your level. This thing just brings undead to your level, but I don't know if it does it when just by carrying it, because the danger ones they'll tell you like even when not warm. So I'm just gonna take it for now. If a Sil Roko tries to give us trouble, I'll put it on. But if I start seeing like Oath Wraiths or something showing up, whoa, that's a nice short bow. We'll know what happened. It's pretty rare to catch an Orc Captain without his cronies, so I like to kill them when it happens, because they're capable of dropping decent stuff. I'm not used to having will at this depth. Like, I don't have much, but it's far more than I usually have. Sweet. A normal Helm of Clarity. Okay. This is probably even lighter than the one I'm wearing too, yeah. So I don't need this great helm anymore. There's an axe, a shitty cloak. Staff of Majesty. See, the Staff of Majesty and the Staff of Slumber are, in my head, sort of equivalent, but I think some monsters that are immune to Slumber aren't immune to Mastery, and vice versa. Oh, what am I doing? See, I'm not used to... Oh! I'm so dumb. I've been carrying around this Nargothrand sword because it slays dragons in Roko, but I bet Glandream. Yeah, okay, so I don't need this anymore. I probably shouldn't be doing all this, like, in clear sight of this dragon. And I think I had a fire resist gauntlet, right? Okay. What's this? The Sapphire Serpent. These ones have good protection. 5d4. 1d4. Well, I know which one I'm going to hit first. Poor little guy. I always feel bad for them, kind of. Oh, Majesty just causes fear. Well, they're both good, and I'm not overloaded, so let's carry them around. I just don't really count, or sorry, I just don't really believe that either of them are really going to do anything with the amount of will that I have. I'm tempted to kill the serpent. Problem is I don't have Vanish, so if I do hit it and it doesn't go well, yeah, I guess I can use this as an escape route. Real problem though is I have no cold resistance. Well, let's see, I'll get the extra damage die from Glamdring anyways. Well, I think the good thing about those little serpents... I was just going to say, I don't think they can open doors. But, apparently they can bash them down. Okay, so I'm pretty confident that this this Amulet of Haunted Dreams doesn't draw a race 3 level when you're not wearing it, so I'm going to keep carrying it. Oh, the Serpent's probably here too, but that's... Wait a minute, okay. New to this game are a whole bunch of unique Roko. They're Balrogs and they're really tough to kill, so I'm trying to train myself not to just go up and like beat up R's when I see them. I'm always really astonished at how hard those things are to kill, in general. Okay. Damn it. I really hate it when they run. That drives me absolutely berserk. Like, I would rather they do that, which is to go down the stairs, than run around screaming. I like this Haunted Dreams thing. This was a really smart idea. It's fun to carry around as a swap. Holy crap. How many pounds overweight? Quite a few. I don't really need all these arrows. Whoops. Of course he notices me. I think that's, out of the corner of my eye I saw that serpent and it looked like he was awake, so I'm starting to move towards the shaft in case it decides to come and say hello. There's a whole bunch of fire drakes on this level. Am I still wearing those? Yeah, good. Okay, let's put back on my normal gauntlets. At some point I'm probably just gonna like ignore the rest of this floor and go down because it's pretty big. And like I said, I like to stay ahead of the clock. What just happened? This is really getting obnoxious. It's the reason why I'm having so much trouble with weight is because I'm carrying around this stupid mail corselet, all these spears, and a big ass greatsword. Plus all these stabs. Yeah, I'm carrying a lot of heavy stuff. I'm almost tempted to ditch the greatsword, but then if something heavy comes along, I'm screwed. Well, I certainly don't need this helmet anymore. That helps. Okay, good. I like easy solutions to things. Even when they're problems that I could have easily avoided. Well, that's nothing I want to fight. Oops. Why do I always do this myself? Oh, okay, but I have this Helm of Clarity. That resists blindness, right? Oh. That's unexpected. Well, turned out not to matter. This is probably too heavy for me. Nope, good. Oh, this is a vault. Or a vault-like area. I guess I shouldn't be surprised that they locked everything, but it is somewhat annoying. Oh, my favorite monsters. Spear of Fury. Cursed. That Fury type was in the game before. It gives you whirlwind attack, I think. But it also, I think that's all it used to do. But now, they also made it, aggravate monsters. And it's got a sticky curse, which I think is also pretty cool. Is this a bug? Oh, it's a troll. That's a lot different. Ah, shitty. Okay, this is bad. I forgot the trolls can yell. So probably in my next turn, that Silent Watcher is going to scream. And I'm not going to be able to do anything. It's going to terrify me and something else. I can't remember. So I think I'm going to run out this way. Because there's a staircase here somewhere, I believe. Oh, that's shitty. Yeah, I guess I could go straight left. There's some werewolves in here that'll probably cut me off, but... What is this? A down shaft. Yes! Love it. I was really nervous that I wasn't going to make it in time. I'm sort of half-hour tempted to stand up to these guys. Fight for my rights. I'm going to have a real hard time hitting that werewolf, I think. Oh, well. Okay, well. Oh, and there's 2 cave trolls. Ouch. I should really be wearing my mail corselet. Especially, the Venom's End really helps against werewolves. Come on. This is, the skill Opportunist really helps a lot against these stupid wolves because, they have this really bad habit of kind of dancing in front of you. They move erratically. And every time they do it and move away from you, with Opportunist you get a free hit. Okay, he's dead. That Roko should... Well, I don't want to go too close in here. But he really is scared. Come here, little one. There we go. I'm trying to make a point of killing more monsters that I would normally just ignore this time around. So I want to see if I can kind of improve the amount of experience I have going into the mid game, because this has been the hardest part for me recently, is surviving this part of the game. I think mainly because of the investment in stealth. Ooh. This guy, I have never killed this guy, I don't think. Every time it seems like I'm getting like a good head start on him, he just whacks me to hell. And I think he's been buffed in this version, like, or changed. Yeah, he can hit to freeze, which I don't really know if that adds an extra damage dice or not. I don't really know how these melee attack works when they have like an elemental type. But he's got so much health. Very little protection, and it's hard for him to hit me. That's scary. Okay, well, first things first, let's... Has he seen me yet? No. Yeah, let's try to drag them back outside of this Silent Watcher's jurisdiction here. Oh, he just threw a rock at me. That's rude. Okay, well, I guess I'm gonna commit and start throwing shit at him. Oh wow, I've never been hit by a boulder before. $64. You got a really crappy roll for 64. Oh no, I guess not. What is that? 6 times 4 is 24. 64 just sounds really scary, but... I actually usually don't have this much evasion when I fight him, I don't think. But this isn't a lot. Like, this isn't a crazy amount. Oh, this is the part I hate the most. Bitchin'. Poison arrows are really useful for that. He dropped a poison dagger. Are you kidding me? And I'm not sure if he dropped that or if I put that there. I think I put that there. Well, I guess that would be pretty good to throw. I never thought of that. 2d5, that's not really anything to sneeze at. Well, why not? That'll be the first thing I drop if I run out of space. Pretty awesome, guys. I'm pretty stoked about killing him. I don't really ever have much luck with doing stuff like that. Alright. Well, do I want to go down a shaft? Not really. Maybe I should go over here and see if I can find an alternate staircase. Let's try throwing... Oh, I guess this thing would be resistant to poison, though. It's a spider. Or is it? Yeah. That doesn't seem fair that all spiders can resist poison. This one's not poisonous. That's bullshit. A ring of protection. What's my perception? Yeah, that's probably better than a ring of perception. I don't know, that was just kind of a snap judgment. I don't really know if it's better for me right now, but I am getting kind of up close and personal with things, so. This is pretty reasonable protection for, like, only -2 stealth penalty. Although I guess I am still wearing a shield. Is that a werewolf or a ward? Oh, okay. good. Okay, this is a normal staircase. Let's take that. Where's that poisony dagger I have? I want to try this out. Yeah, that's pretty good. Was that my throw? Yeah, that was my arrow, I think. Yeah, 46 to throw is pretty sick. Although, I guess... Still, 24. Wait, what am I doing? What does Shift T do? I accidentally hit Shift T and I'm trying to... I probably do it all the time when I need to use it, but I don't know what it is. Oh yeah, tunnel. Duh, okay. Sorry guys, I'm kind of hungover today. Not my sharpest. I wish I had some kind of GPS that detected what direction giants flee in when they run. And where the G stands for giant, I guess. Alright, well, that was a waste of turns. Okay, here we go. Down one more floor. Sure. I'm really tempted to take assassination soon, but I've told you what happens when I do that. So let's go left. Oh, something's about to come through that door. Snow trolls. Have I killed these yet? Oh. Shit. See, I told you, I'm terrible at this. I don't even notice when they're standing in front of me. Ooh, oh, that's why. What? I'm wearing a cloak of protection. These things are amazing, these shadow cloaks. But my light radius... it gives such good evasion, too. It's just annoying because then you have to keep swapping. Is there anything I don't need? How heavy is this thing? 1 pound. That's ridiculous. Okay. The Spear of Doriath has served me well, but I'm almost tempted to get rid of it. This great sword of Doriath has actually done jack shit for me, but I haven't really tried to use it. I'm almost tempted to just wear these all the time. Or get rid of one of these stabs. Yeah, this is a difficult choice. What do I do? What do I do? I kind of want to keep this Staff of Majesty around because I think that works really well against cats. And I don't know if Slumber works as well. I think they're both a will check though, so it should. So I'd rather keep both of these on hand in case I get into a lot of trouble because those things are brutal. This Poison Dagger is kind of a novelty, I guess. Yeah, if I had more of these, I would carry them, but... So let's bring this. Are you shitting me? There we go. Oh, that shadow spider is still alive. I didn't even realize. Okay, so I'm gonna wear the shadow cloak for a while. But I suspect I'm gonna wear it for a bit and then realize that I don't like this whole lack of light deal. This is a long way to run with it breathing at me if I don't succeed in hitting it. Nothing. Once I take assassination, those things won't be quite so scary anymore. In fact, once you take assassination, like when you're a really good stabby character, those serpents are your best source of experience because they can't stand up to you. Those are the easiest things to one-hit kill because they don't really have a heck of a lot of HP. And you blow right through their defense because you have just such crazy damage output. See? I guess that's not really that much work to switch. Although I'm going to have to inscribe it. Where is it? Free action. Luckily I have bear here. Whoops. I should probably just stop playing for the night because I keep making really stupid mistakes right now, but... Okay, let's put this male corselet on. I just saw a shadow up there. Okay, that was easier than I expected. I don't want to fight a troll while I'm fighting a shadow, so... Those shadow things, if you haven't encountered them before, it's kind of confusing because you hear shadow and you think, oh, it must be dark, like it must be casting darkness, that's why I can't see it. But it's not. I think it works on, it's like a Sil Roko, like it's invisible. Where's my other amulet? So yeah, if you have True Sight, put that on. And this Staff of Earthquakes is something I've been considering recently too, because apparently I thought it just like fucked shit up around your area, but I guess you can kind of use it offensively, like it does pretty good damage to enemies, or maybe it just squishes them, but I don't know. I don't really have the guts to try it. No, I want to put my leather armor back on. Okay, no. Alright, well that was entertaining. This is like, I should just... Oh, that's a lurking horror. These things aren't quite so scary anymore because they fixed that bug where they can chain and trance you. And I think they move slowly. A Ring of Frost, that gives me fire. It's okay. See, I don't think I can hurt this thing. This is one of those things where... Oh wow, it doesn't really have much protection at all. I thought it did. Cannot be frightened. It can bite to entrance. It has 10d4 health and a defense of plus 11 blah. Okay, so it can be critical, I guess. So I'm just going to fight it, because I have free action. Oh yeah, I forgot about that part. Oh, and I guess it's not slow. I thought it was slow. Alright, okay, those things aren't so bad anymore. Those used to be like insta-death. I think he just woke up his buddy, but let's see what I can do here. Good, good. Okay. Stay away from the serpent. So what I'm actually worried about is right now I'm kind of just rolling through everything. But I think what happened in this release is that like spotter type monsters like werewolves and cats and, well, mainly those two things. Maybe vampires too, I don't know. Certain monsters got a perception buff, and certain monsters got like a perception nerf. So like trolls were already pretty bad at spotting you, and now they're even worse. I don't know about the troll guards, but normal trolls, I guess. But the other ones, the spotter types, got a buff. So I'm walking around with like pretty shitty stealth right now, and I'm investing in everything else. And I'm worried I'm gonna get swarmed when I get to like, well, cats should be on this level. Like I wouldn't be surprised if there are already cats on this level. So let's see what happens. And eventually I'm just gonna have to get over myself and stop carrying all this swap equipment because it's getting awkward. What can I drop? I really don't think I'm going to use the shadow cloak, to be honest. I guess it's the awkward thing about this cloak is that it's good when you're sneaking around, but I don't want to wear it when I'm sneaking around because it kills my visibility. But it's also good when you're fighting because it gives you such a great evasion bonus. But I'm only wearing this cloak of protection. Like, clearly this 1d1 is only useful if I get hit. Okay. This great sword so far is my biggest liability, but I don't want to drop it. There we go. When in doubt, drink. Usually it solves your problems. I guess I could have dropped a few arrows too, but... Yarg. Okay, Spiridoriath, I think you're gonna get the boot. As useful as you are. I'd rather have more things than just one thing, so... See? Cats. Okay, let's see what their perception is. 10. So I honestly don't know what their old perception was, so this doesn't really help me. And it always shocks me how much health they have. Also how much everything they have. Like, speed and melee and evasion. So, let's see if they wake up. No. Okay, so I'm still okay if I hug the wall, I guess. And I'm pretty sure I could take them in a straight fight right now. What I've learned recently is that basically the way the math sort of works is that if your if your evasion is bigger than their melee, they'll hit at most half the time kind of thing. That's like a rough gauge. So I can take like 1 out of every 2 hits from a cat. It's just that they hit twice around, so that's really the shitty part. I also think it would be nice to have cat slaying. Like, they are a pretty major type. Ooh, that's a good longbow. My old archer character is jealous. Did I kill it? No, of course not. Nice. One thing that happened in this game, I don't think I ever tried to run like a real polearm heavy character before, but it was a thing that I tried to do for a long time, unsuccessfully. No! I hate false floors. Okay, let me tell my story and then I'll fall. But in the old version of the game, like the previous version, there were normal spears, like the ones that I'm carrying now. There are great spears, which I still don't understand what they're good for. I guess they have a really big single damage dice, but they're so heavy that I don't know. I just don't get it. What I would like to do one day is make a great spear with like a high smithing character and make it as light as I possibly can and see how good I can do, but I just don't think it's worth it. But then there was a glaive, which was 2d8, I think, which is pretty good. And it had like a decent melee penalty. And then there was a halberd, which was 2d10, which is crazy, but it had like a big melee penalty. And what they kind of did in this game, halberds aren't really like, I guess, consistent with this world. Like, I think the French people made halberds in like the 14th century or something. It's not really like a feudal or like ancient archaic weapon. So there's the glaive kind of got buffed so that it's in the middle of like the old glaive and the old halberd, and now it's the only thing that's really a heavy spear. So I think they're on average 2d8, and that one was 2d9, but little education for y'all. So I pray to God that this room that we fall into isn't like in the middle of a cat party, like a cat mitzvah or something. Maybe one of the cat children just turned 16. No, this is actually pretty ideal for falling. Okay, so judging by the number of dumb things I've done in the last, I don't know, like 20 minutes, I think I should probably just call it here and pick it up next time. But I've noticed the interesting thing about this run is that I've done some things a little bit differently, mainly because I know I have an audience. Usually I try to get away with things when I'm playing by myself because I'm like, oh, I'm pretty good at this game. I can do things that I would normally recommend people not to do if they were beginners because I can just survive. But usually shadow spiders kill me half the time because I don't take inner light. So far that's helped me out. That's been a big win. What am I looking for? My notes. But the other thing that happened is that usually I take all this stuff that you see here, but instead of inner light and parry, I'll take dodging, sprinting, and usually vanish by this point too. And then I'll still try to fight all the things that I'm fighting now. So I think there's two reasons why I'm being more successful killing everything, because usually I have to run from everything. The first is that we found Glamdring, which I said was going to be a game changer, and it really is. This thing's badass. Like, the fact that you get an extra damage die against everything is amazing, and I'm hoping we'll find a Ring of Strength or an Amulet of Strength somewhere, because we could stand to have one more point, because then we'll add a damage side. The other thing that happened, though, is I have much more experience to dump into melee and evasion, and I've been kind of emphasizing pumping these as much as I can. So I think it's not infeasible to get melee and evasion to 25, provided that like Glamdring is the thing that is giving us the +2 boost. And I might even be able to do that by taking, like, instead of investing directly into melee, I might be able to just take dexterity or something, because like we're 1 point away. Although I don't really want to do that here. And here it's incredibly expensive. Okay, so yeah, I guess stealth is really the only place I'm going to be taking it, which is kind of a bummer. That's the other good thing about the archery build. This is such an easy stat point. I actually think in the archery tree, this should be higher. That's my opinion. But I guess it doesn't really matter, because if you're going to get here, you're probably going to get far past here anyways. But enough kind of roundabout yammering. The gist of it is I'm just going to keep focusing on melee and evasion until it becomes clear that our low stealth is becoming a liability and we're getting run down. Because it's fine if just the cats see you, that's not a big deal. But if you're in a room with like 3 cats and like a great cold drake or a great fire drake, and one cat decides to scream at you, it's over. Like, yeah, that's pretty much it, it's over. So we'll see how this plays out, I guess, over the next couple of videos, but I'm going to save this experience pool that I have. I really want to take, like, I'm dying to take Assassination. I'm just trying to prevent myself from doing it. The one thing I would note, though, is that it's pretty crazy that we've had such an easy time of the game, like, fighting things with just basic stuff. by which I mean I only took finesse. I think my previous mentality is that I needed charge to survive this far, and I think having charge in its old form really did just kind of hide how viable like pretty much all these other abilities were in terms of getting you through the early game. So who knew charge wasn't that useful, or sorry, wasn't that necessary after all. It was incredibly useful. I'm not sure charge in its current state is ever really going to be good for anything, but I'm not confident enough to say that right now. I think it might really be good for heavy weapons kinds of builds. There are a lot of people who like to make characters that are just like melee evasion and give me the biggest frickin' matok you can find or whatever and let me bash people's faces in. And clearly this is always going to help you with that kind of build. Because finding 3 points of strength lying around the dungeon otherwise is kind of annoying if you're not a smith. So maybe we'll try one of those. That might be fun. But for now, I'm going to say goodbye. And thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time.